Welcome to the 34th lesson of SmartKnitter Knit Instructions Level 2. In this lesson, we will go through techniques for editing Jacquard. Let's look at the first file with 4-color Jacquard. It is knitted in bird's eye backing, but the knitted swatch is a little too thick. In usual practice, you might just drag the feeders of different colors into the same slot to combine the colors. There would be multiple back stitches running with the same feeder upon translation. The knitting sequence is incorrect as well. To reduce the number of colors in your Jacquard file, you must change the colors used in SmartGraph instead. Change the colors and retranslate, and you can see the Jacquard is knitted correctly. Let's look at another example. This is a panel with 1x1 sweep in bird's eye Jacquard. We can see there is a course of front knit and back tuck, followed by a course of full needle in the transition from sweep to body. This would create holes at the transition section, which is not ideal. Return to SmartGraph. Change the transition course to interlock stitch. Assign a distinct tension number for easier adjustments on the machine. Translate again. If you see extra transition courses generated in the machine code, check the cast-on method for Jacquard in the translation settings. Set it to no action to allow customized cast-on courses. Now the transitional courses are translated correctly. This method of transition from ribs to Jacquard creates no holes during transition. Let's look at another panel with 2-color bird's eye Jacquard. Upon translation, we can see that the right shoulder section is translated as single jersey instead of Jacquard. This is because in this zone, there is only one color present. Simply add a dot at the edge in this zone and select the correct Jacquard backing, then translate again. Click Yes if this prompt shows up, warning about scattered appearing in the zone. Drag the feeder chip to an available slot and set the Jacquard backing. Now the shoulder is also translated into Jacquard correctly. Let's go to another panel with 3-color Jacquard. Upon translation, we can see that only feeder 4-5 or feeder 4-6 are knitting in pairs. It is not knitting true 3-color Jacquard. To correct this, go back to SmartGraph. At the edge, you need to manually add a dot of the unused color to the panel edge. Translate again, and now the 3-color Jacquard is translated correctly. Let's look at another panel with multiple colors. In this panel, we want to have bird's eye backing in 1 color, 2 colors, and 3 colors. To do this, separate the panels into zones according to the color count. In the single color section, as it cannot be translated into Jacquard automatically, we have to manually draw the bird's eye structure as shown. Repeat on the bottom part with single color. Drag the feeder chips to appropriate slots as shown. Select the correct backing in the feeder setup. Translate, and you can see bird's eye jacquard in different number of colors are knitted accordingly. You can also select different jacquard backing in the same panel by separating it into distinct zones. Let's look at a panel with 4-color bird's eye backing. Upon translation, we can see that one feeder is missing in the jacquard knitting sequence. This is because the maximum number of colors in each row is 3. You have to manually add all 4 colors onto one row. Translate again, and you can see the panel is now knitted in a 4-color jacquard sequence. Let's look at a file with 2-color bird's eye jacquard. In feeder setup, you can select 3 options for bird's eye jacquard. Automatic will choose the most suitable option for your panel, but if there are multiple panels using the same structure, you can choose one of the manual option. Let's see the first one with mainly full needle. Upon translation, we can see there are predominantly full needle stitches. Then look at the mainly tubular option. Upon translation, we can see there are more tubular stitches in this option. You can choose either option for the preferred hand feel and texture. Let's see another bird's eye jacquard example. We can see that there are 2 patterns filled in for this swatch. Upon translation, the knitting sequence is inverted. One way to correct that is by simply adding an empty row between the 2 patterns. You can see that the knitting sequence is recalculated and it matches with the bottom part. Another way to edit that is by shifting the pattern sideways by 1 stitch to align the jacquard structure. Remember to replace the pattern repeat on the starting side. Translate, and you can see the knitting sequence is the same on both patterns. This marks the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching.